Welcome into another edition of the Holt Naylor Show. Katin Hauser on the other side of the break. Hope you enjoy the show. If not, as always.
Holt Naylor turns, and Holt will take off and run himself. He's at the 40-yard line. Holt Naylor's to the 30. Look at him go! 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Pirates!
There's local politics, bud.
It's showtime!
Welcome back in, Katin. Believe it or not, if you listen, I used to could run like you could back in the days.
Yeah, I was hearing it, yeah.
Welcome to the show, brother.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me back.
Dude, let's go. How's first of all, how's the wrist? I'm sure a lot of people are going to ask about it, so let's go ahead and talk about it. How's it doing?
Yeah, it's doing good. I just got out of the cast a couple days ago. Been in the cast for 4 weeks, so it's kind of a relief to get out of it. In a brace now. Kind of take it out, do rehab and stuff on it. Just trying to get back to strengthen the wrist and hopefully getting back as soon as I can and participate. So
you said spring ball is pretty much just to be safe. You're probably not going to be.
Yeah, they just want to be careful. If I really pushed it, I probably think I could, but I just don't think it's
There's no reason to.
Yeah, just kind of get the strength back in and get 100% before I start rolling.
Dude, I was thinking on the way over here, you've had 3 head coaches in college. Have you not?
Yeah.
So you had, who was your head coach at Michigan State?
I had Mel Tucker first.
So
That's
you
the one who
were
recruited
him?
me.
That was his last year.
Yeah, and then he got fired, so we had interim the half
So
of
you
the year.
technically
So I
had 4 head coaches.
Yeah, if you put it that way, yeah.
Golly. So like, I mean, obviously last year you get recruited here, you're supposed to be the guy, and then something, with the risk kind of happens during camp a little bit. How was your mental state like? Because my first year at ECU, I didn't play until the 5th game. I was a freshman at that time too, but like on the sideline, I'm like, dude, I know I can play. I know I can play. So I know how that is. Like, how did you deal with that? And then how did you stay ready, especially with your wrist? Because I know there was rumors about you medical redshirt and all that. So, like, how was your mindset there?
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, I was playing at Michigan State, so I thought I could come here and play. I committed. They told me they were going to bring another guy. They brought in Jake. Went through competitions. I was like, okay, I'm going to be the starter. Like, you even said it, like, welcome to ECU starting quarterback. Yeah. Like, all the hype was there, and I was ready for the opportunity. And just around that time during camp, I had this wrist thing I was dealing with. And it was just kind of weird because I feel like I was ready for the moment, and I feel like just it wasn't my ability to go out and do it. It's just kind of the mental side of it, dealing with the wrist, a fractured wrist, understanding like how much I could push it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and then eventually not winning the job. It was just kind of tough. I mean, the good thing is I've been in college for 3 years. I feel like I've had a lifetime of college football just with all the experiences I've been through, coaches being fired, changes, stuff like that. So I was kind of like ready for the moment, just from last year not being named the starter, and then now this year not being the name of the starter right at the bat. Kind of learning from those mistakes in the past that I made, and then also just sitting, looking back, and being like, okay, how can I improve? How can I get How can I get myself ready for the next opportunity in the next moment where I get in the game? But it was good. I mean, I had to sit back, kind of look back and look myself in the mirror and be like, okay, I'm dealing with a fractured wrist. Do I want to? I had a conversation with my parents, like, okay, they didn't name me the starter. I'm kind of like have a little bitter feelings of I'm human.
Yeah.
I have bitter feelings about it. I feel like I should have been named the starter. I was like, I could redshirt and sit out this whole year and get another year back and go explore new opportunities. But even talking with Coach Houston and Coach JDB, like I felt like there was a real opportunity there later in the season, and I kind of just stuck to what I was preparing for this whole time. Like I put in so much work from January to summer to fall camp. Like there was so much work I put in and bought in this team that. I just didn't want to let that go, and I made some good friends on the team and started bonding. So I felt like my gut was telling me just to stick it out, and it was awesome because I learned so much in that opportunity. I feel like I matured in that opportunity,
Yeah.
And then it came that time where I was named the starter halfway through the season, and I just sat myself down. I was like, I'm not going to let this opportunity slip. I'm only get so many opportunities to go out and be a starter. And I just wanted to go out and do the best I can. And we went on a pretty good run towards the end of the season there. So yeah. That's a lot, but I mean, I'm blessed to be in the position that I'm in, and it was a lot of fun.
No, for sure. It was fun watching you. And like, I remember us texting when they named Jake the starter. I was like, dude, just be ready. Cause you're going to like, your time's coming. And I don't know, I kind of had a feeling too. And then, I mean, as a quarterback, like winning, you learn some, but like losing, you learn a lot. And it's probably the same for your situation. Now looking back, I don't know if you're thankful for it yet, but like down the road, you're going to be thankful that you went through that adversity, especially early on here in a new situation. Because then, I mean, when you got in, you started balling.
Yeah, it was a lot of things too. Just like I met so many good people here. Like I met you, I met some of the coaches, met some donors around ECU and stuff, and a lot of good people. And I just feel like it's being real. I just feel like I let a lot of people down just because I wasn't named the starter. And I just realized once I got my opportunity, like I was going to make the most of it. So I haven't got that. I'm still like in the moment. Living day by day, but I feel like in a couple years I'll look back and be like just understanding what I went through, and just thankful for everyone that's been in my corner and helped me out and get me to this point. So I couldn't do it all by myself. But I mean, I'm just focused on day by day right now.
No, 100%. It gives you perspective in a lot of ways too.
For sure.
Because you gotta, it's like hard to slow down, especially college athlete. And like that's something that like I never did, was not slow. Like I was just always on the go.
Yeah.
My poor fiance, we had a trip my senior year. We were talking about the other day to the Dominican Republic before my senior year, and we canceled it so I could go train with my quarterback coach. And looking back, I'm like, sorry, I was a dick for that, Grace. Katin, what do you have?
No, I love the. I kind of totally different experience, like the adversity of being the guy down the depth chart. What was the biggest thing you feel like that kept you in there? Was it the bond of the teammates, or just staying close with your family? Like, what really got you through that low period of not being the guy? Because we talked to a lot of guys this past season, and they all said like, "Hey, we really thought." Katin was going to be the guy. So what really helped you really get through that low period?
I mean, you guys can talk to this too, just the locker room. Just leaning on those guys in the locker room. They know what you're going through. A lot of people outside be like, oh, why isn't he in the starter? What's going on? But the people in the locker room know what's going on. They know what you're going through. So being able to lean on those type of guys and kind of help me through it, like you can really, like in my position, I could have really like gotten a shell and not talk to anybody and go in the facility, get my work done, get out. But I feel like I had to be around my guys, and I leaned on my teammates a lot. Made some really good relationships. Had to talk through some things. And then just having that experience and then being able to go out and play and then live out the stuff that I talked through, the stuff that was going on my mental side of things, it all just kind of came full circle. So to answer your question, yeah, just leaning on my teammates for sure. And the locker room is something special for sure.
Yeah, I totally see that. I played with 16 different quarterbacks when I was at ECU. So I saw a lot of guys come in, face similar adversity, and it was the same way. Guys who made friends, stuck to the grind, they always made it out, or they transferred, or they at least stayed and had a positive experience. And the guys that got in their shell, they were gone really quick.
Yeah, for sure.
And you kind of see it, like they stay away from the guys, and the guys don't really respect that because everyone sees through that. But then you came, you got your chance, and White Vic appeared. How do you like that nickname?
It's all right. I mean, I don't look too much into that, but I think it's funny, honestly. I think it's hilarious.
They love it. When you we were talking with like Chase Sowell and Winston Wright, like this kind of towards the end of the year when you started to really ball out, and they were like, dude, all off season, like we just threw with Katin. Like we just thought Katin was going to be the guy, and then obviously all that happens. Like, what were your conversations with JDB like? Because like you talk about your relationship now, it's a good relationship. Like, was there ever a point where y'all sat down and you were just completely on? Because like I know how sometimes talking with coaches is you like just kind of say yes sir, like you tell him how it is. But he's a younger guy. Like, how's y'all's relationship?
I feel like he's just been really honest this whole time. He's shot me straight the whole time, told me the truth in every situation. Why did I not win the job? He kind of explained it to me. What can I do better? He explained it to me. And then also just inventing like my side of things and seeing it from my perspective, and him listening, be able to talk through stuff.
Yeah.
And, understand that. I feel like that's something I've never had before in a coach. So that relationship right there in the start of the season is what I felt like when he came down off the booth on the sideline, and we were able to go talk on the field and stuff like that. Like that connection that we made early on, and then working through something where I wasn't even the starter. We had to go through something real and talk through a real conversation.
Yep.
That's what led to us having a special connection towards the end of the season, and we're still building on that right now. So, I mean, I love Coach JDB, and he's been a huge part in my success and our team's success for sure.
For sure. how's the helmet comm? The helmet
It's awesome. I mean, I've never had anything like that before.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it just makes my job so much easier. I mean, the advantage with our offense is we go so fast.
Yeah.
That we're ahead of the play clock. We have 30 seconds left before we even have to snap the ball. We already have to play in, so I can sit there and look at the defense. He can talk in my ear and be like, all right, it's cover zero, just throw a slant. Like,
how much does he do that? That's what I was wondering. Like, how much is it like him telling you, like, they're rolling here, they're blitzing here?
Honestly, he has a learning curve too. Like, he's not perfect on it, so I'll come off the sideline like, hey, like, you can talk to me, coach. Like, on certain drives, he'll do it. Like, if we have a certain game plan, we need to look for this kind of thing. And if there's some things I wish he could have helped me out, I can be like, hey, like, you could have helped me out here. Like, it's a real conversation.
I will tell you, from experience, it's better to have a coach that's quiet and you tell them than have a coach that just talks the whole time.
Yeah.
Dude, my offense coordinator in Seattle would talk nonstop. And like, dude, when my rookie year, like I'm trying to learn 40-word plays and I'm saying it in the huddle and he's like, remember the 3 tech right here, you go this way. I'm like, bro, I got to restart this whole thing. Like, so it's better to have it that way and like communicate.
Yeah, I think he understands that too. And I think he's just giving me an opportunity to go out and think about it. But yeah, he's also like trying to call plays and stuff. So I'm sure he's focused on getting him on the line and stuff. So he has a lot going on his play too. So I'm not going to harp on it too much. But I mean, the helmet comms are great. I mean, it was a big help during the season.
Because y'all have iPads now too on the sideline?
Yeah.
Dude, we didn't have any of that.
I mean, I had that in high school. I mean, I went to like
I had it in high school.
Yeah. So it was definitely just like this an advantage. I mean,
Dude, that was brutal in college because like Coach K, our offense coordinator, would be like screaming at me because we had a lot of like vertical stretch, like choice type things. And I'd be like, Coach, the corner was bailing. I threw it, and he'd be like, he wasn't bailing.
Yeah, he's like,
you'll see it tomorrow on film. I promise.
he's like, what'd you see out there? He's like, what was the backside corner doing? I'm like, I don't know. I was looking at the field. Like,
so you can pull it up, dude. That's nice, man. That's so how much like in-game adjustments wise, because it was JDB's really first year calling plays. Like, how much did y'all make in-game adjustments, or did you just stick kind of to the game plan?
Most of the time we stuck to the game plan, but there were some times in the game where like it was mostly like receivers were watching film and be like, look, this corner is dogging. Like they subbed out.
Yeah.
He's gassed. Like, let's go attack him. And then it's not like we had to change the game plan. It's like, all right, we're just going to go attack this guy or attack this tendency and stuff like that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Were there any moments when the comm went off and he was telling you something super important and you're like, oh shit?
You want to hear a funny story? Is I got named this like starter at the Charlotte game, like on halftime, like on the field. They were like, all right, suit up.
Which was also the worst possible timing. Just another story for another time.
Yeah, I was like, okay, sweet, I'm going in the game. First drive, I got there. They have 2 different helmets, so I don't know if you guys know this. They have 2 different helmets. You go out with a helmet with pregame with no comm, and then you have a helmet on the sideline with the comm.
That's how they do that with y'all?
Yeah. So I have to like go to Steve and be like, hey, where's my comm helmet? And he's like, he scrambles to go get it.
Oh, I can picture Steve.
He's like yelling at Marcus to go get it. I'm like, but the Charlotte game, I go out and I'm like, I can't hear you. And I come off the sideline like, this is not the right helmet. I don't have the comm helmet. So that was my first experience playing at ECU was I didn't have the comm on, and I was like listening from the whole time because I was practicing the whole like fall camp, spring, like let's ready for the comm, and I was like, I thought I was like losing my mind out there.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, sometimes like I remember a couple games we get up for warm ups and I'd go up to Steve and Steve was like, not good. I'm like, what's up? He's like, comms are not working. Comms are down. I'm like, okay. So
that doesn't change. In the NFL, I was like very shocked at like how much that actually happens. They go out all the time.
Yeah, and then I think it happened to us, but that they cut off for both teams. Like if one team doesn't have it, both teams can't have it. So yeah. That kind of happened with the other team too. Like the other team didn't have comm, so we can't have it. So you kind of have to go.
Yeah. So do y'all have signals for that? Like, I mean, obviously y'all still signal.
Yeah. So I get like lazy and not look at the signals on the sideline because I have the head comm.
Must
but
be nice.
Now
Holy cow.
now I have to look at the signals because he'll say something and I'll be like, I heard you on the mic and he said this and it was something different. So every time I have to look at the signals to make sure. But
yeah.
Nice.
I know a guy who used to mess up the signals a lot.
I did mess up signals a lot.
And then
I've
come
I've done
to the
that too. I signaled
sideline.
my freshman year, whole freshman year. I messed up so many. I have some funny stories about that too.
I cannot signal at all. Like I was hurt. I think it was my last game my freshman year, and I tried to signal. I was terrible at it, but I was like so picky with like the actual signals.
Yeah,
he was really good at signaling. That's like kind of what he did. And like guys, because some receivers are just dumb as bricks.
Oh yeah,
dude. And they'll like,
yeah.
I don't know if y'all still do it. I'm not going to do it. Do y'all do like the long and tall boards? Okay, so we had like a complex thing. I don't know why we did it, but the receivers would get confused like all the time. It would drive me insane.
I got one more question.
Yeah, go ahead. Because
when you get into like a 2-minute drill, do you want JDB to like, hey, chill? Like I want to focus myself, or does he switch up or the way he comms with you, or does it kind of the same throughout the whole game?
It's been pretty consistent. The only thing I have to critique is like I swear every time he'll be like, take care of the ball, like in my headset, he'll be like, take care of the ball on this one. I'll throw a pick. Literally the next play. So I don't know why that happens. I'm like, he literally just told me that and I threw a pick, but that's the only thing I have to critique is like don't tell me to take care of the ball because I will throw a pick.
Because 2-minute, I would not want no one talking to me. I would be like, hey, radio silent.
But early in your career, like I feel like my first 2 seasons, I would have wanted someone to, because like you got to know like how the head coach and offense coordinator like what they want in 2-minute drill. But like once you like my last year, like I would know what Coach Houston and what Donnie would want kind of early on. Advice to you: every 2 minutes, just start with a check down. Every single time.
That's what I do when we go in practice. I'm
on Thursdays.
I just drop back nice 3-step. I'm like, where's the back at? There we go. Let's get rolling.
Because the whole drill, do y'all still do it on Thursdays, or did y'all do it on Thursdays?
We do it randomly now. It's like
we would do it on Thursdays.
I feel like we do it every other day.
Oh, good. Well, yes, y'all go so fast, probably. Yeah. We would do it on Thursdays, and it would be like the last like practice thing of the week. It'd be the last thing we did on practice. And if we don't do good, like Coach Houston would just be pissed the rest of the like until game day.
He lived and died with that 2-minute drill.
Yeah,
that was like his thing.
So I would just always just check it down, and then we just run. I'd throw an out route, and then like run a draw, and we'd be in field goal range.
I swear we would throw check downs like for 2 yards, and it'd be like a 10-yard gain. In the 2-minute drill.
Steve will look out. Steve, Steve and Marcus. I'm weak. You said Marcus. Does he still run around?
He's the man. He is.
Honestly, equipment managers are like.
We need to shout out Marcus because he does a lot for EC football. He doesn't get enough recognition, but
Steve as well.
Steve, of course, but yeah.
Yeah, Marcus.
Those 2 guys, man.
Marcus on my pro day was sprinting. Didn't know he was going to be out there doing anything, and I was like, I kind of needed it because I'm so uptight. I mean, there's scouts everywhere, and you'll eventually learn this when you have your pro day. I'm like, oh gosh, like I'm about to do it. And I see Marcus just sprinting for a ball or something.
He's bought in, dude. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I love Marcus.
For sure. Military Bowl, y'all obviously balled out. I mean, it's a legendary game. You guys would be remembered it.
It was awesome.
Forever. Was that, I mean, obviously, you're not from here. You played at Michigan State. You're from Cali-ish, right?
Yeah, California.
How was your first experience with like an in-state rivalry?
It was crazy. I mean, I didn't really know how intense it was until I literally went out on the field and saw the fans. Like, they were packed out. I mean, ECU side was obviously just packed out, but even NC State, they had some fans out there too.
There's not as many.
Yeah, there's not as many, of course. But it was intense. You could definitely feel like the tension when you get in the stadium.
Yeah.
That's real. That's a real thing. So yeah,
I remember when we were on your visit. When I talked to you on your visit, you like brought up my game versus NC State.
I watched that video like 3 or 4 times, just seeing the fans like on that first touchdown. I was like, I want to play in that.
So shout out to you for winning that game because I never got to beat NC State. So
hey, man.
We appreciate it. Katin was crying when I think it was you scored the first touchdown. I think you ran. Didn't you run in?
Yeah.
Yeah, Katin was crying that moment. It was emotional for us.
It was awesome.
I know, man. It was emotional. I wouldn't say I was crying. I would say
There's literally a video of you crying.
I would say
I think I saw it on Twitter.
I was
we were
choked,
blitzed,
I was choked up, man.
Yeah, man.
Choked up. That's crazy. Crying makes it seem like I was.
It was
just
literally on social media. But you play him game 1 next year, Thursday night.
That's crazy.
Are you guys? I mean, obviously you're ready for it, but like now knowing the rivalry, and then I think vice versa, their quarterback was like, it's not a rivalry. Like, it definitely is now. They'll admit to it now.
For sure.
How do you guys feel like going into that, obviously with the momentum?
I mean, right now, like we got to do like the day by day type thing, 1% better. Try to focus on just getting better right now. But I'd be lying if I say I haven't thought about that game.
I was about to say he's media trained, if not.
Yeah,
so.
no, I would be lying if I say I haven't thought about that game every single day.
Let's go.
Just thinking about. I've been already watching film, just thinking about, okay, which players they bringing in, like kind of personnel, what are we looking at here? I mean, just kind of starting already.
Let's
I'm
go.
trying not to do it just to focus on right now, but I can't help myself.
No, you got to.
Yeah.
You got to. And then, like, especially because this is your first year kind of going into a season as, like, the solidified guy. Like, you're going to be looked at as the guy.
Yeah.
That's got to change. I mean, it changes a little bit, obviously. Like, you're going to look – I would always look at, like, the first 4 games, like the non-conference games, like, at least, like, a week during the summer. Because you get bored during the summer if you don't look at film and stuff, especially, like, coming back. Like, you just got to worry about QB1 stuff now and making sure the receivers go to workouts and all that. Yep. So your number one. I mean, I'd imagine Yannick Smith. How's he doing?
He's doing good. Yeah, he's definitely maturing a little bit after that last little bit of the NC State game.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he's just working his ass off in the weight room. He's definitely putting on some size, putting on some speed, and he's gonna be a good player for us. I'm excited.
Let's go. Okay, what do you got?
I know you had some crazy celebrations this year.
Oh yeah.
We had a presidential dance.
I loved it.
We had the thumbs down. We got work anything big for the state game so far? Or are we waiting for the memes to come out before?
I don't know. I was gonna hit the dance we did with the ECU dance team. But
you should now.
I don't know. I got it down now, so we might.
Someone tweeted about the thumb down celebration. I guess they like that. So
yeah.
They...
There's a story behind it. I mean, before the game, before we left to go to Maryland, the whole team went and saw Gladiator 2 in theaters.
Oh, let's
so
go.
I was like watching that. I was like, I'm gonna do that. He did it in the movie, so I was like, that'd be pretty cool.
Oh, that's fresh.
And I just spammed every touchdown. I just do it. So
and
I was
you
like,
did it.
Yeah.
The first time you did it was at the state band, right?
Yeah, I did it at the state band. I have a video of like someone in the band filming me, and they're like, I don't know, it's funny.
Oh,
I'll have to
that's
show you
sick.
after.
That's sick. Yeah. Kane, you got anything else?
Nah, I think I'm good, man.
What are your? I'll just let you go real quick. Just what are your goals for next year, individually and as a team?
Individually, obviously, just get healthy, and then also be a leader. I mean, we're losing guys like Rajay and Dustin, and you're kind of looking around like, all right, who's going to be the leader? And you kind of
now.
I'm like, yeah, it's on my shoulders now. So I don't take that lightly. I try to do as best I can, just trying to bring other guys along with me and trying to keep this team together. Because I mean, I just being here a year and looking at Rajay, he's like the perfect model as a leader, and just everything he did here was just so special. And that's what I want to do. That's the type of person I want to be, and that's how I want to conduct myself. So the biggest thing for me personally is to be the best leader I can and bring other people along with me and bring this team together. Team goals, obviously, we want to go undefeated. We want to win every game in our schedule. We want to beat NC State that first game. We want BYU to come in. We want to whoop their ass when they come in.
Let's go.
And then we're also going to go play the top teams in the conference. We're going to play Memphis. We're going to play Tulane. We're going to play Army again. Like, we're going to win all those games, and I'm excited to go do that. So that's obviously a goal for us right now. And just the short-term goal, just keep building the weight room. I feel like we new strength coach coming in. I feel like we're all coming together in the strength room, really bonding and have some discipline. So those are just kind of a couple things we're looking at right now.
Let's go. You got me ready to go.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, brother. Thanks for coming in.
Of course.
That podcast is brought to you by Anson Belt. Over 10,000 combinations of micro-adjustable holeless belts. You can mix and match the buckle and the belt. We're huge fans of them. Caden, you love a good Anson belt.
I love a good Anson belt, and we are in heavy season, so I extend my Anson belt, and it fits just right still like it does in my beach bod season.
It is not heavy season for me because I'm going to the UFL soon. I'm keeping right with my body. You know how I keep right with my body? Kyre's Float and Wellness Studio, 2800 East 10th Street. They got float tank, infrared sauna, salt halo therapy, cold plunge. They got everything to keep your body going right. Shout out to those guys. Kyre's Float on all social medias. Go check them out, 2800 East 10th Street. Next, I want to give a shout out to Roofing Solutions. ECU alum, Pirate Club member. Look, roof's done right. They got roof repairs, roof replacements, gutters, which they did mine, siding, exterior, insulation, and storm restoration. 252-702-3395. Appreciate everyone for supporting the pod. Caden, we're big fans of K10. We think he's a baller. We're glad he's here.
Yeah, it was a good interview. It was fun listening to his story of this year because the adversity he went through. Like, honestly, we were talking like, he could have took that medical red shirt. He could have easily have left and bounced. Because there's guys like that, especially more than when we played, really, that would have just left. Like, all right, I thought I was going to come here. I got my money for when the time I was here. Let me just go somewhere else because I probably can find somewhere where I can play. Because he obviously is a really good quarterback. So it was fun to see that adversity there. Because a lot of guys I've seen a lot. You've seen a lot. Would have been out.
Yeah, I think it says a lot about him for sticking with it. For one, he could have transferred at that point, and then playing good. He could have played good and then transferred again, and he decided not to do that to stay here. So it shows a lot about him and what he thinks ECU can be, what he thinks he can be here, and what it means to him. So we certainly appreciate him for, first of all, coming on the pod, second of all, for staying here. I mean, going into next year, like, the sky is literally the limit because we have a quarterback, we have an offense coordinator, we think they have a good defense, at least with Coach Harrell, he's going to run some of the same defense. So that's why it's like it feels comfortable because – I mean, when I played, I returned at quarterback. Like, we went into seasons knowing I was a starter, but I didn't get to be a fan for that point. So, like, I'm excited because, like, this is the first time since, like, Shane Carton for me that I get to watch, like, a next football season and look forward to it. And, like, we have the same quarterback as we did last year, so I'm pretty pumped.
Yeah, there's nothing like getting a quarterback back with experience because you're like, if you don't have a quarterback, the question marks are so big. But when a quarterback finally gets that fill, that full off season, knowing he's the guy, because I don't think people really understand the stress of a quarterback battle or just trying to like earn your spot, because exactly what you just said, the stress of being perfect, really weighs you down. Even if it's in the game, even if you just got the starting job the week before, it's like, oh my God, am I going to keep this job?
Yep.
Am I worried about? I mean, you went through that perfectly when you first came up. So.
Yeah, there's just like mental struggle. Not mental struggles is the right. I mean, sometimes there's mental struggles. There's just like a mental battle of like, almost like tensing up, like, do I do this? It's almost like the feeling is like, the best way I can explain it is like someone's looking over your shoulder of like, you got to do everything perfect. It's like you doing your work and your boss is looking over your shoulder and they're always like, hey, do this better, except it's going on in your mind during a quarterback battle. That's just kind of, that's most of the times how it is. Except the quarterbacks that go out there and play free are usually the ones who win the quarterback battle. Now for Katin, I mean, he was hurt.
Yeah.
And his throwing wrist, so obviously that had a lot to do with it. But that is like a battle that you go in, in a quarterback battle with, that you battle with your mind a lot of the time.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are like, what about receiver battles or corners or whatever position on the? It's just quarterbacks. There's one guy,
and he plays
the majority of the time. And if you're not the guy, then you're sitting around hanging out. You got to be ready. Then you go in, you get that oh shit moment. So it was just fun seeing like reliving experience, and really I think he's gonna appreciate it 5 years, 6 years down the road if he doesn't make it to the pros and he's like in real life and realize. Life is easy. I went through a hard adversity.
I think he'll play pro ball. He reminds me, honestly, those quarterbacks that have been out of Ole Miss, it's the same offense. Like, he plays very similar to them, except he can run. I think you got to think he's 20 years old. We were just talking to him off air. He's 20 years old. Like, I think he has a ton of potential, and if he keeps playing and keeps growing, like, he'll be a pro quarterback.
Yeah, I hope so. Let's talk about. Since football season ended, do you feel lost? Well, you're about to start football season.
Football season's just starting for me.
I know. I'm talking about college and pros, though.
Yeah, I mean, I do, but I will say I went to my first ECU basketball game. Actually, no, we went to one, but it was like the first game, and the game was already over by the time we got there.
NC Wesleyan.
Yeah,
Wesleyan. Like D2 or D3 school.
But I went to the first one in a while, and I think the Pirates are going to win. the conference tournament next year, and we're gonna post this just like we did when I predicted the bowl game. After ECU wins the conference tournament and they're in March Madness, we're gonna post this because I predicted it again. CJ Walker, RJ Felton are gonna carry them. CJ Walker's gonna hit it 2-pointer to go in the semis though. This is just to go to the finals, then we'll blow out the finals.
How many games have you watched again?
Just one.
Dude, I haven't watched them live because I think football season, I don't know, maybe you feel the same way. I feel like college football season like extended longer than ever. It did actually this year.
Yeah, it did.
And so it's extended into so deep into January. I didn't even get into basketball. I normally get into basketball this year. And it's just like, shoot, is it a little too late to get in basketball because March Madness? And then I got into crypto. So, and I'm like, all right, what's it? And
Baseball starting.
Baseball. I think I'm gonna like follow back into baseball. It's just like a weird or March Madness. It's just I haven't watched any Pirates games, but I do know some of their losses have been absolutely horrible.
Some wins have been some good ones.
So people are gonna hear you say they're gonna win the tournament. And be like, has he followed this season? They have a 14-11, good record. Not great record, but good record compared to like the last few years.
And I will say that I say this every year, like. I literally say that every year. I'm like, we're going to win the conference championship. I was explaining it to Grace the other day. I'm like, look, we can go defeated, but if we just go on like a 5-day span of balling out, like it'd be historic. And one of these days, I pray that this will happen and we get to experience that because I think that'd be electric. I think that would be more electric than like, I don't know. Would you rather make it to Omaha, make March Madness, and go on a run in March Madness, or make the college football playoff? I don't know about would you rather, but like, which one do you think would be more fun?
I think I'm biased because college football is what I live for. It's what I know the best.
That is true, yeah.
I would like that just because I know college football so well.
Yes.
I like watching college basketball. I like college baseball, but like our passion is about football. But I think if we were able to make a run, and you'd have to go at least Sweet 16 basketball, I don't think nothing could beat basketball's run of electricity.
I just think it'd be awesome if I don't want to have a dominant season. I want to be the Cinderella team. Yeah. That is what I would rather be. Be like 14-11, like just an average team all year.
So then you wipe baseball off that because we're a dominant team in baseball.
I think we're going to make it.
You can't really make a Cinderella run in baseball. It's like I don't ever think.
I think we still would. Like I think if we make Omaha and go on a run, we would still be one of the Cinderella teams. We've never made Omaha. Even though we're a powerhouse program, I still think that would be a big story. Like, we'd still technically be the underdog.
I think basketball is...
Basketball is definitely the way more further underdog.
I agree with you. I think your true biggest Cinderella run, football would be, but I think football you have to go deeper, is basketball. Like, basketball, you could literally be garbage in your conference all year, win the tournament. Kind of like State last year. State was the perfect example of Cinderella last year.
And they extended Kevin Keats.
Yeah, they're doing awful right now. But I think basketball will be way more electric. There's nothing like March Madness when the big guy, the little guy upsets the big guy. It's just.
I think it'd be sick because every year there's like one or two teams that are Cinderella, and like it'd be pretty. It will be pretty sick.
I think to myself, why is that not us?
We're gonna get matched up versus Louisville this year in the March Madness tournament.
Oh my God! Now you get one prediction right. It was electric. And then you just start
do this every episode now,
spitballing random stuff.
Anything else before we go? Good luck, baseball. We will follow baseball this year. Make sure you turn in the Danny Bill show. He's releasing, I think, Thursday to kind of preview that. But we'll have some baseball guys on throughout. But
dude, you're cutting the show kind of early.
It is early, but.
I'm saying we have news coming up, but
we do have big news.
We're doing 2 episodes a month, man.
Okay, so we will be. I've already said that. Katin doesn't think I've done this.
Just repeat it though.
While I'm gone in the UFL, we'll be doing 2 episodes a month. And then when I get back, it's football season. We'll be doing 4 a month, so every single week. Also, big news.
Now my turn.
Oh, before I'm gonna set it up. Okay. If you want to see big news and still follow along, we're still tweeting daily. Follow at Holt Ayler Show on X, and Katin has massive news because he.
So since we're only doing 2 episodes a week and you want it a month, thank you. We're only doing 2 episodes a month and you want to keep up with the fun, well, we're going to do a 5-minute show every week. And they finally let me put my name on it. We're going to do the Katin Norman show every week. We will have guests. A lot of times we'll probably just be Holton. But if you want to join the Katin Norman show, let us know. You might be the Katin Norman show guest of the week and have our 5 minutes of fun.
On social media at Holt Ayler Show.
At Holton Ayler Show on social media. X, 5 minutes of fun with Katin Norman.
5 minutes of fun.
I like that.
All right, there we go. So fans, people have actually been asking, and you made the joke the one time. People have said to have the Katin Norman show.
Yeah, 5 minutes of fun with Katin Norman.
5 minutes of fun with Katin Norman. So it's not going to be called the Katin Norman show now.
We'll have to do a poll. Do we want to do the Katin Norman show, 5 minutes of fun, or we want to do 5 minutes of fun with Katin Norman? I think they're both kind of. Now I'm thinking about it, we can do the names, but they do sound. They're just interesting names. They are interesting the way they come out. After I said it a few times.
All right.
Do you like it or?
Is this how the 5 minute show is going to be?
No. 5 minutes. What we'll do? This is straight spitball. We'll start a stop clock, and at 5 minutes, it's over.
Cut it off.
It's over. Wherever we end it.
Katin has full creativity. This is all going to be his show. The only thing is that I'm going to pop in, say what's up. Other than that, full creativity. He has the login to X. It's all him.
Also, Holton likes to think it's the people show, but he has a lot of power. I don't think.
What?
I think it honestly is propaganda. I don't know how much power he gives to the people. So I'm spitballing again. I am a true people's person. I think each week we'll do a poll. What do you want to talk about in the Katin Norman show? Or what do you want Holton and I, or maybe Katin and the guest, to talk about for 5 minutes of fun? We'll do a poll.
All right. Congrats, Katin. That's big news for you. I'm looking forward to joining you.
And if you want to sponsor the Katin Norman show,
he's getting sponsored.
Just hit me up on X. Anyways, we're good to go.
All right. Thank you, guys. Tune in. Next week, we got new defense coordinator joining. And then after that, it might be the first episode of the Katin Norman show.
5 minutes of fun.
At Holt Ayler Show. We'll see you next time.